All right, ready to dig into this. Land-based machinery operators.
Yeah.
It's more than just tractors.
Oh, absolutely. Way more. We're talking the skills, the tech.
And how to ace that interview, which is where this deep dive comes in.
Exactly. We've got the career guide, the interview prep, even some AI tricks up our sleeve.
Love it when you say that. Okay, so this career guide, it's honest about the good and the bad. Job security, though, that's a huge EE plus.
It really is. People always need to eat, no matter what's going on with the economy.
Makes sense.
As long as we need food, we need skilled operators. And it's not just one type of job either, is it?
And that's what I was thinking, like becoming a specialist, I don't know, maybe in precision farming, that's got to be in demand.
Huge demand. Those GPS-guided tractors, that's the future. Learning that kind of tech, it can really set you apart.
So that's the upside. But the guide also mentions the long hours, the outdoor work, all kinds of weather.
Right, you got to be tough for this line of work. Physically demanding. Makes me think of a classic interview question. How do you handle unexpected challenges when you're operating machinery?
Ooh, they're trying to trip you up.
Totally. They want to see you think on your feet. So don't just say, I handle it. Give them an example.
Right, like one time, the combine broke down mid-harvest.
But I remembered this workaround from a previous job.
And saved the day.
Exactly. Shows you're resourceful. Speaking of which, RoleCatcher. You know I love a good AI assist.
Always. What have they come up with now?
They've got this tool, right? It analyzes job descriptions.
Okay.
Helps you tailor your answers to what they're really looking for.
No way. So I can, like, upload the job posting? And it'll tell me the key things to highlight.
It's wild. It can even give you feedback on your practice answers. You know how some questions just throw you off?
Like, why this job? That one gets me every time.
Right. So instead of saying, I like tractors, which, let's be honest,
We've all been there.
RoleCatcher might suggest, let's say the company is big on sustainability, you could say, look, being a part of efficient food production, something that's also environmentally sound, that's what motivates me.
Okay, now that's good. See, that's how you stand out. All right, back to the hot seat. What motivated you to become a land-based machinery operator?
All right. So think about this. It's not just about liking big machines, right? It's about finding that genuine spark and connecting it to what they need.
So, always loved working outdoors. Or
Maybe you're fascinated by how things work, the problem-solving aspect.
even just that feeling of hard day's work, being out there.
That's it. Find that core thing and make it relevant to them.
Okay, I like it. So it's like I've always been drawn to, and then you fill in the blank.
You got it. Now, another big thing the guide emphasizes, safety and compliance, knowing the rules. This isn't just about driving, you know?
True. Which reminds me, another question. How do you ensure safety when you're operating land-based machinery?
Right. And here, you want to show them you're proactive. Don't just say, I follow the rules.
Okay, so what? Like, I talk about doing my pre-operation checks every time, no matter what.
Exactly. Being aware of your surroundings. Mentioning any extra safety training you've got.
So it's more about taking responsibility.
Yeah.
I make it my job, too.
Yes. Ownership. Shows them you're serious. And speaking of serious, let's talk qualifications.
Oh, here we go. What qualifications do you possess that make you a good fit? Man, I hope my resume speaks for itself.
It's a start, but they want to hear you connect the dots. The guide talks about operation and control, but also operations monitoring.
So it's not just driving, it's that bigger picture awareness.
Right. Can you anticipate problems? So instead of listing off every tractor you've driven,
I should be saying something like, my experience with X, Y, and Z equipment, it's given me a strong understanding of both the hands-on operation and that proactive monitoring, always looking out for potential issues.
now you're talking. You've shown expertise and that you're thinking ahead. This, by the way, is where RoleCatcher can really shine again.
Oh, yeah. How so?
They pick up on those key words, you know, like proactive monitoring, and they'll let you know if you're hitting the mark.
Like having a personal editor for my interview skills. I like it.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, so we've talked about safety, qualifications. What about the actual, you know, hands-on experience, different types of machinery and all that?
Yeah. So you got some stories ready to go, right?
It's stories.
Like, can you describe your experience with land-based machinery? They're going to ask that.
For sure.
Don't just give them a list, you know. I've driven this, I've operated that. Make it a narrative.
Okay, so how would you do that?
Start maybe with your first piece of equipment, right? What'd you learn? And then how'd that lead you to the bigger, more complex stuff? Show them that progression.
Oh, like a level up story. I like that. Okay, what about maintenance? That's got to be huge in this line of work.
Yeah.
Essential. And they're going to want to hear about it. So something like, how do you approach the maintenance and repair? They want to know you're mechanically inclined.
So not just, I follow the manual.
Right. Tell them about a time you diagnosed a tricky engine problem or did some field repair that saved the day. That's what they want to hear.
Shows you can handle things when they go wrong, which they always do.
Always, always. And that actually reminds me, the career guide, they make a big point about knowing the industry regulations, safety standards, all that.
Yeah, because this isn't like mowing your lawn, right? There's some serious stuff.
Exactly. So those questions, they're going to come up. Like, how do you ensure compliance when you're operating this machinery? That kind of thing. This is where you shine as that responsible operator.
Okay, so I need to know my stuff. OSHA, all that.
Oh, yeah. Be specific, too. If you've got any special licenses, pesticide application, anything like that, now's the time to mention it.
Proof you're not just winging it out there.
Exactly. Now, thinking about the day-to-day here, a lot of these jobs, it's about juggling multiple tasks, you know?
Right, you're not just sitting on one tractor all day.
No way.
Yeah.
So let's say they ask, how do you prioritize tasks, especially on like a busy construction site?
Okay, so how do you answer that one?
This is where those organizational skills come in. Think of a time you managed a big project, maybe the deadline shifted, something like that.
Oh, I've got a good one. Landscaping project, we had this crazy deadline, then it started raining like crazy.
Oh, no.
Total nightmare. I had to rearrange everything, make sure everyone on the team was on the same page. It was stressful, but we got it done.
Perfect example. See, you showed them you can adapt, you can stay organized under pressure.
Okay, so we've covered safety, the regulations, even staying organized. What about those tougher questions, the ones that make you sweat a little?
Oh, you mean like, what are your salary expectations? That one.
Yeah, that one always gets me.
It's tricky, right? You don't want to aim too low, but you also don't want to price yourself out.
Exactly. So what's the move?
Do your research. Before you even get to the interview, use RoleCatcher, look at industry salary guides. What's typical for your experience level in your area?
Okay, so I go in there knowing what I'm worth.
Yes. And then when they ask, it's like, well, based on my research and my experience, I'm targeting something in the range of.
Right,
And give them a realistic number.
right. Got to know your worth, but not scare them off either. Okay, so got my research. I'm ready with those numbers.
Yeah.
But what about those other curveball questions? You know, like,
Yeah.
are you okay with crazy hours, weekends, holidays, all that?
Ah, yeah, the work-life balance ones. Tricky.
Because, let's be real, this career guide, they weren't shy about the long hours, unpredictable schedules, all that.
It's part of the job, right?
Yeah.
So you got to find that balance. Be honest about what you can do, but also where your limits are. If you're good with flexibility, emphasize that. Like, hey, I'm all about getting the job done, even if it means extra hours during the busy season.
But what if you're not okay with that? Just gotta lie. Hope for the best.
No way. Honesty, always. You can acknowledge the demands, but also, be upfront about your needs. I'm happy to be flexible, but I do have some commitments that need a little more predictability. Something like that.
So it's like finding that middle ground.
Yeah.
You're dedicated, but you also have a life outside of work.
Exactly. Okay, now, almost every interview, they end with this one. Do you have any questions for US?
Oh, yeah. And I always blank.
This is your time to shine. Don't waste it on stuff they could answer on their website.
Right. No, what's your dental plan? Right off the bat. Okay, so what should I be asking?
Think about it. What genuinely makes you curious about them, the company, the specific role, all that? Maybe it's, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the team right now? Or, I read you're really focused on sustainable practices. What does that look like day to day?
Ooh, that's good. I like that. It's not just about them grilling you. It's your chance to see if it's the right fit.
Exactly. Are these people you actually want to work with? Do they share your values? All that good stuff.
Okay, this has been awesome. So big picture now. If someone's listening, getting ready for their land-based machinery operator interview, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
One thing. Prep is key. Research. Practice your answers. Use those tools like RoleCatcher. But honestly, be yourself. Let them see your passion, why you love this stuff. That's what'll make you stand out.
I love that. Show them you're the one to drive their success, literally. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Hope you feel prepped, prepared, and ready to land that job. Until next time, keep those wheels turning.